Good afternoon, team. Jason here, founder of Volunteer Botanicals, and today we are discussing packaging for your cannabinoid or infused beverage brand. Now, if you're like me, it's exciting to get going with an idea right out of the gate. How quickly can we get our idea to market? How quickly can we bring it to fruition? Many brands that are new to the beverage space often overlook one of the most single important things out there is how are you packaging your beverage? Did you know that making mistakes on your packaging could potentially doom your brand? Have you thought through all of the different options that are available for these types of beverages? Today, we're going to break down how to select safe, compliant, and effective packagings for your cannabinoid and functional beverages. Let's have fun. Let's get to the meat of all of this and see what we can come up with. Let's do this. Step number one, before we actually get focused on what we're putting the beverages into in terms of the type of vessel that we want to portray our brand with, it's important to consider state compliance. What rules are in place for your state or your local municipality that might affect actually what you put it into and how you're going to brand it? Now, most states treat THC or intoxicating cannabinoid beverages like alcohol. They require 21 and up for purchase, and usually some sort of warning or icon on the can showing that it's an intoxicating beverage. Usually that's sufficient enough, but many states are now trying to implement new warning systems with very specific verbiage and very specific font type. So make sure you understand the local laws, and usually those can be found from the Department of Ag to tell you exactly what you need to be on your can. Now, if your state requires resealable cans or resealable bottles or child-resistant caps, those are things that we can help you with. We have resources for cans that can be resealed or child-resistant caps that can actually go over your can. So compliance first before we even figure out what it's going into. Step two is really understanding cannabinoid leaching. When you're selecting a can or a beverage vessel, all of these have kind of different ways that cannabinoids could potentially leach into a can. The question we get most often is, does my can need to be lined? And the long answer is yes, can liners are important to prevent leaching of the cannabinoids or actives over time. And, a problem that we've seen too often are untreated cans or cans that actually don't have good liners. Over time, you can reduce potency or potentially alter the taste of the beverage. So don't cheap this out. Take the extra steps to get a lined can to make sure that you're maintaining the integrity of your beverage over time. And always opt for food grade, epoxy-based liners, glass bottles, which are usually inert. These are the kind of things that we're really focusing on. Treated containers protect the integrity of your product, and they ensure that the customer actually gets the full benefit over time with every sip. Step number three is choose the right material, right? Depending on what your brand or your manufacturing capacity allows you to produce, you have lots of options of what you're actually going to put this liquid into to sell for your brand. And not all packaging materials are created equal. Glass bottles actually have a longer term stability and a premium look when you're looking at a lot of these beverages. People are very comfortable with glass. They drink beer out of glass. They drink alcohol out of glasses. So glass seems to be the go-to for people that are trying to kind of premiumize their beverage over all the cans that are in the market. But they can be heavy and difficult to ship. So there's pros and cons for glass. Aluminum cans truly are the go-to for a lot of these cannabinoid beverages, mainly because we're working with beverage manufacturers that can drinks. People really seem to enjoy the experience of opening up a canned drink and drinking it. It's really part of our daily ritual and our habit, drinking a Coca-Cola or drinking a nice craft brew. But make sure these cans are treated and lined. It's very important. PET plastic also serves a great role in producing beverages that might be shots, or even this group Cannacaine that does a beverage infuser that can be poured into multiple drinks over time. And these are perfect and suitable for this application. Now, we know shots aren't going to stick around long. So the potential for oxidizing in a clear bottle is high, but we know this is a one-shot serving. So it's easy to have a clear bottle if you know you're moving through it quickly. And as you see, one that's going to take a little bit more time is colored. That will prevent any kind of oxidizing from the light over time. So All of these are doable. It just is really dependent on you and your brand. So think through this as you're building your brand portfolio and the types of products you intend to manufacture. And step number 4 is designing your label and your can and your package for compliance and branding. In a lot of other beverage markets, you don't have to worry about real compliance issues, and you're just focusing on the brand and making sure you maintain your brand integrity across your SKUs. In these particular products that are infused with ingredients like THC, there's a whole compliance aspect to it. And it's important for you to know that your packaging really needs to serve double duty here. And what I mean by that is think about compliance first, and then how to attract customers second, and it's usually vice versa. So start with the basics. Clearly display any dosing information about your cannabinoid actives like THC or CBD, and make sure it's not confusing. It's clearly noted the difference between a 2 milligram and a 20 milligram. We don't want the customer to have that surprise. So make it clear and easy to understand, and focus then on your branding. Are there specific warnings that you need to integrate into your branding? Does your state require you to add some other aspects to the label? And lastly, is there a QR code? That QR code is probably the most common, that and having the amount of actives, THC, CBD in your can. Those two are probably the most common aspects that we see across all states is, can I see that my COA shows what's in this drink? And does it reflect with the amount of THC that you're marketing on your can? And lastly, it's really important to consider flexibility. Each state might require you to alter your label. So it's nice to build a beverage and say, I want to sell this in all 50 states. But what you'll find very quickly is Tennessee has a specific warning label. Georgia has a specific warning. All of these different states, now your warning could work for those. But it's important to understand that you might have to make micro adjustments to each of these to continue to move your brand into new states. We're hearing Florida now is telling people they can't have animals. Anything that might confuse the buyer that there could be something for children. So again, arbitrary rules, but that might affect the integrity of your brand. So please understand, you might need to be a little bit flexible when you're building your story and you're making sure compliance is in place as well as your branding. Step number 5, think about durability and transportation of these beverages. Now, the cool thing about our sector right now is these products can be sold direct to consumer. They can be purchased online, and they can be shipped across the country, which is a neat aspect considering if you've spent most of your life in alcohol, that hasn't been available to you. So depending on what you're choosing to make, if you are considering to only work with distributors, to self-distribute yourself, which you can do now, or to sell these products online, or a myriad of all of these approaches, consider what makes the most sense for each of these applications, because the cost to ship might be prohibitive if you're running all glass. If you're selling into distribution and you're selling pallets, do you want big cans or do you want smaller cans? If you have the opportunity to make shots in something that's very small and lightweight, consider that. Each one of these provides pros and cons for durability and transportation, and none of them should be overlooked as you're wondering and building out your marketing plan for how you're going to sell these beverages. Step number 6, really something to consider for any product that you're bringing to the market is there a sustainable option? We're hearing more and more and more that customers are paying attention to and choosing products that are more sustainable than those who don't consider that. So as you're building your brand, we know glass is recyclable, cans are recyclable, but think even about your labels. Are these recyclable? Are they compostable? Sustainability isn't just a trend. It's really becoming an expectation from many customers. It's sometimes a non-option when choosing a beverage or choosing a product. So aluminum cans and glass bottles are obviously highly recyclable, and compostable packaging is always preferred. And a lot of eco-conscious buyers don't like plastics. They just don't. So investing in sustainable packaging solutions is not just good for the planet. It's really a great long-term plan to build customer loyalty. And we have an incredible opportunity that we've just opened up through our networking circle for a product that is a PLA plastic that is built from sugarcane resin, and it's fully compostable. And so this might be one of the first plastics for beverages that can compost in landfills and within just a couple of years. And not only the bottle itself, but the label and the cap. It's a fully compostable solution. So first of its kind. And the only reason that these types of things are coming up is because customers want them. Why would we use bottles that take 200 years to break down when we could potentially have a more high-tech solution that breaks down in 2? So consider this because your customers are considering it. So in closing, as you can see, there's lots of different ways to put liquids into vessels. There's lots of different ways to label those vessels. Do we have sticker labels like you've seen here? Do we actually have digitally printed cans? Do we have shrink bands? Lots of different options. And what we're encouraging you is to consider all of these, not only for your manufacturing systems, but what you believe your customer wants to see in a beverage. And choosing the right packaging for your cannabinoid beverage, it really goes beyond just the look and feel. It's about safety, compliance, and product integrity over time. So by prioritizing treated materials, lined cans, things that don't leach cannabinoids, flexible labeling options, the ability to make micro adjustments on the fly, sustainable options that can be composted. These are the types of things that will help you create a product that stands out on the shelf, has a great story behind it, and will earn customer trust. If you're ready to maximize your packaging, or you need help or contacts with the right kind of cans or can liners, label creators, shrink sealers, we have an entire team of experts on the ready to help our customers solve their problems as they engage with us. So we're here to help. Lots of different issues that you can run into. So we want to make sure you're thinking about it as you're building your beverage. We appreciate you taking the time watching this. Jason with Volunteer Botanicals. We'll be back with you soon.